take your attendance first.
Okay.
Dr. Deepti Malviya. Dr. Deepti Malviya. Okay. Dr. Vishali Parthi.
Present, sir.
दिसत आहे ना. Miss Neetu Amlani.
Present, sir.
Okay. Dr. Nirav Pandya.
Sir. Present, sir.
Oh, yes. Mrs. Minal Rajdev.
Present, sir.
Dr. Suparna Murkute.
Present, sir.
Dr. Amit Kabande.
Present, sir. Present.
Dr. Archana Mahakalkar.
Present, sir.
Dr. Arvind Somnathe. I think he had not joined right from the beginning. है ना? Dr. Shruti Gharade. Dr. Shruti Gharade is also not there. Dr. Pallavi Deshmukh.
Present, sir.
Very nice. Dr. Meenakshi Kamble.
Present, sir.
Meenakshi Kamble, you will have to shoulder the responsibility for the second session. The guest speaker
Nice,
for the
sir.
second session is third.
Third session, sir.
Okay,
Meenakshi
okay.
Kamble.
हो. आणि सेकंड सेशनची जबाबदारी कोणाकडे आहे मग?
Malik, sir.
माझ्याकडे आहे.
हं?
विवेक मानिक, sir.
विवेक
हा,
माणिक.
Malik,
ओके
sir.
पण विवेक माणिक जॉईन नाही झाले ना अजून.
सर जॉईन आहे.
व्हेरी नाईस. Then next, Dr. Sheel is there. Dr. Manik is there. Dr. Rajesh Sonkusre.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Very nice. Dr. Vishal Daulatkar.
Present, sir.
Dr. Swati Yadav. Swati Yadav. Mr. Kerketa.
Yes, sir. Present, sir.
Raigad. Yes. Miss Kani Mozi.
Present, sir.
Very nice.
Sir, Deepti Malviya present.
Aditi
One,
Malviya.
serial number 1.
हो. Yes. Dr. Shikha Awasthi.
Present, sir.
Yeah. आपले गेस्ट स्पीकर डॉक्टर बलभीम चव्हाण. He is yet to join. So again, we'll have to wait for 1 or 2 minutes. त्यांना फोन participant, our guest speaker is joining shortly. Just wait for 1 or 2 minutes. हो, आवाज पण येतोय. You are audible as well as you are visible also. Welcome to Dr. Chavan, sir. All the participants, our today's guest speaker, Dr. B.L. Chavan, have joined us. And shortly he will be delivering his presentation.
Yes, sir.
Now I would like to request our madam, Dr. Dr. Pallavi Deshmukh.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, please.
A very
proceed
good
for the
morning.
introduction.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. A very good morning to one and all present here. I am Dr. Pallavi Deshmukh, Assistant Professor, Department of Home Economics, Rajiv Gandhi Mahavidyalaya, Sadak Arjuna. I am participating in this online refresher course It is my proud privilege that I got this golden opportunity to introduce the resource person of this session on the behalf of UGC HRDC Nagpur. I welcome you as today's guest speaker. I feel extremely proud to welcome and introduce of honor of today's is program Honorable Dr. B.L. Chavan sir. As a Associate Professor, Department of Environmental, as Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, Marathwada University, Aurangabad. Sir has published research papers in the national and international journals. National journals has published 45 and international 122. Sir can speak, read and write 4 languages. They are Marathi, Hindi, English and Russian. Sir has published 6 books. Sir has foreign visited. They are Thailand, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bangla and Bhutan, etc. Sir is the recipient of 11 awards. Sir funds mobilized about 50 lakhs. Sir has done the following projects. They are one major research project UGC funded and 5 DST camps for 150 students each. Considering past positions, Sir was professor in environmental science at Solapur University and SSS and NSS program officer at Shivaji University. Sir, we are extremely happy to have you here today. We avoid and happily welcome to you, sir. Once again, I am thankful to UGC HRDC coordinator Dr. Praveen Hesham, sir, this opportunity. Today's topic is Mission Life for Sustainability. So, please start
Thank
the.
you, madam. Thank you for introducing me. Am I audible?
Yes,
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Chavan, you are audible.
Sir.
Yes, sir. The screen is all visible.
No.
Now,
No, sir.
now, yes.
No,
Now
sir.
it is okay.
Yes, sir.
Now
Yes,
we are
sir.
getting.
Yes. Okay.
Now visible.
All teacher colleagues. Nowadays, the environmental problems are in discussion at all the platforms, including the political platforms. The reasons are obvious. When we are developing, we are using some resources, we are using different kinds of amenities. Ultimately, as per thermodynamics, we are producing something, and that something is in the form of pollution, which is causing these problems. Among these problems, there are some problems at local level, some problems are at the national level, some problems need to be dealt at the international level, and one of such problem is a global warming greenhouse effect. Of course, we all are aware of it. This problem has become severe and it has resulted into another major problem of climate change. We currently are facing the climate change severely. If we observe the global average increase of temperature it is continuously increasing because the development is taking place, industrialization is taking place, the automobile industry is rising, transportation sector is increasing. Every day, even in our household, our energy uses have increased. During these energy uses, we are consuming something and releasing something. That something is especially the carbon dioxide and many more gases, because of which these are supporting the global warming and ultimately resulting into climate change. This problem is severe throughout the world and it is increasing. More drastic impacts are being observed and therefore it needs to be rectified. At the international level, many programs have been undertaken, but as the climate change has resulted into increased temperature, the sea level is increasing, the precipitation is becoming uncertain. In some areas, the precipitation is not there. In some areas, the floods are there. All because of this climate change, which has been caused due to global warming. Who is the victim? Ultimately, we are the victims. Our health is
क्वेश्चन मी
victim.
रेड करून
Our
आणलेले आहेत.
agriculture. Hello. Yes, sir.
नाही, सॉफ्ट मध्ये आहे आणि काही एक एक्स्ट्रा हार्ड कॉपी मध्ये पण आहे. ते करून घेऊ पहिले ना. मी फक्त याचं हे प्रोफेसर याचं रवींद्र गवळी.
The health impacts are observed. Even there are impacts on agriculture. The forests have severe impacts. Water resources are getting affected. The coastal areas are affected. All the biodiversity is getting affected. Natural areas are getting affected. That means entire system of Earth is getting affected. The climate change has reached to the individuals, to the regions, destroying the nature, causing natural hazards, disasters. Health impacts are there, water supplies are changing, ecosystems are getting damaged, social systems are getting affected. If we see the effects on human health, global warming already contributing more than 1,50,000 deaths and 5 million illnesses annually. This is from a report of IUCN. Those numbers would rise significantly from now in a surprising number of ways. The spreading, the diseases is increasing. The diseases like malaria, dengue, fever, these are creating adverse conditions, including the malnutrition and diarrhea. These all are effects of these changes. Even the drinking water supplies are shrinking. As on date, already about 110 crore people living on to the globe of Earth are suffering from lack of fresh water supply for their drinking purposes. By year 2025, this number will increase to 300 crores. Can you imagine? Which is 40% of the entire population of the world. Therefore, water crisis will increase, especially in China and India. The effects are also on ecological systems. According to the scientists, already few kinds of animals, birds, and trees have disappeared from the earth due to climate change and the conditions created due to the climate change. The climate change is expected to particularly affect some of the sectors like agriculture. Along with that, certain systems are becoming vulnerable to sea level rise and storm surges, and many natural disasters also are being observed. Now, what can be done? Already, the effects are severe on different natural systems. It has already been observed the rising of sea level, melting of snow, and in many areas, the submergence of coastal regions. Even the earth is shrinking due to sea level institution. Therefore, we need to think severely on this problem. What we can think? If we do not think today, the world will face severe problems. Therefore, it is an urgent need to act on this problem at all the possible efforts. Now, what we can do, generally we think that it is none of our business. We rely on our governments, and all over the world the government is acting on reducing the climate change. There are many efforts made by them, but these efforts have certain limitations. And when, if you think all this, the entire world is working on reducing the global warming and reducing the impacts of climate change, all is institutional. No personal efforts were involved in these efforts, and therefore, what the India played role. India, the Indian Prime Minister launched a campaign of Mission Life, which calls for environment friendly lifestyle. Environmental friendly lifestyle definitely is contributing in reducing the impacts of climate change through the actions of individuals which were not taken into count. Almost about 40% of our individuals' action are responsible for increasing the global warming and climate change. And therefore, these actions, if are practiced, definitely the problem can be resolved. This is the key basic of Mission Life campaign. And this campaign was made as a world campaign, and the India appealed the entire world to participate in the Mission Life campaign. The environmental degradation and climate change are not the local phenomena, these are the global phenomena. Expecting the actions in one part of the world's actions can reduce the impacts in all over the world, the impacts on ecosystems. Therefore, entire population should be involved in reducing the impacts of climate change. The estimates suggest that requisite action is not taken, then the changing environment, approximately 3 billion people will experience chronic water shortages. The global economy will be affected. It will reduce by 18% of current GDP by year 2015 if we do not take suitable action. Over the last 2 decades, several macro measures have been implemented globally to address the environmental degradation and climate change, including the policy reforms by different countries with economic incentives and regulations all over the world. Despite their enormous potential actions, many more additional actions are required at the level of individuals, communities, and institutions. Already, the all governments have involved in taking certain potential actions through the institutions, but these have certain limitations, and therefore individuals' actions play important role. Changing individual and community behavior alone can make a significant change in the environment and the current climate crisis. According to the United Nations Environmental Program, if 1 billion people out of the global population of 8 billion adopt environment friendly behaviors in their daily lives, the global carbon emission would drop by approximately 20%, which will be helpful for reducing the impact of global warming and climate change. Now, what is this Mission Life? Mission Life is nothing but lifestyle for environment. The Indian Prime Minister has launched Mission Life, that is lifestyle for environment, in presence of UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres at Statue of Unity at Iktanagar in Kevadia in Gujarat. The Mission Life seeks to translate the vision of life into the measurable impacts. Why this concept? The concept of lifestyle for the
Sir,
environment.
excuse me, sir.
Yes,
Sorry, sir, for the disturbance, but the slides are not changing, sir.
Slides are not changing.
It's only at the second slide, sir.
Oh, I see. Just a minute. Huh?
Yes, sir. The slides are not changing. It is static on first slide only. First or second slide only.
I have reached to 16th slide. I will see. Slides change होत नाहीत या ना नाही ना सेकंड स्लाइड वरच आहे ना
Sir, accurate slide show.
yes I'm trying नाही ना कंटेंट वाइज शेअर होत नाही सेकंड स्लाइड वरच आहे म्हणे
रेंज प्रॉब्लेम असेल
आवाज नाही शेअर झाला त्याच्यावर तर काही मोबाईल
विचार
नाव शेअर होते का
हो सर, आता दिसतंय.
नेक्स्ट स्लाइड इज इट नेक्स्ट स्लाइड
Yes, sir. Now visible, sir.
Okay, I have discussed about the global climate change and global warming and their effects. Already the human health is being affected, the water crisis have observed, ecological systems are getting affected, entire globe is getting affected, natural systems have already been affected. And if we do not take suitable actions, probably the impacts will not be reduced and ultimate the result will be a drastic one. Slides are they visible? Are the slides visible? Hello?
Yes, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
No, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
No,
sir.
sir. No, sir.
Now I am showing this slide of about the life campaign. I have discussed, I will brief it again. The campaign has been appealing for individuals' action towards mitigating the problem of climate change. And this campaign has been launched by India through our Prime Minister. It is referred as Mission Life or Life for Environment. The Prime Minister has launched this Mission Life, which means lifestyle for environment.
Slides are not visible.
अरे, कसं काय? Slide बघा भाऊ.
Slides are not visible, sir.
Slide.
We are on third slide right now.
Slide.
बघा भाऊ.
नाही आपल्याकडे विजिबल असेल
मला ते डाउनलोड करून करावं लागेल का ह्याच्यात मोबाईलमध्ये
मोबाईल हो ना
परत प्रयत्न करा.
स्टॉप शेअरिंग आल्यावर स्टॉप होईल ना नाही ते विजिबल आहे sir.
पण मी विजिबल आहे म्हणजे स्लाइड
नाही 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 आपण शेअर केलेली आहे त्याच्यात
स्लाइड यस नाव 3 नंबर स्लाइड the emission life possible Is it visible?
Sir, we can see slide 3.
Sir.
That's it.
Sir, actually the slideshow has not started.
You see that? On screen video, on the PowerPoint. Okay.
Do you see the slide on mission life, lifestyle for environment?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this mission life expects to translate the vision of life into the measurable impacts in order to reduce the climate change. Therefore, this is next slide. Why this concept? Do you see? Hello?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Why this concept? The concept of lifestyle for the environment, this was introduced by our Prime Minister at COP26 in Glasgow on 1st November 21 and called the global community of individuals and the institutions to drive this mission life as an international mass movement towards mindful and deliberate utilization instead of mindless and destructive consumption to protect and preserve the environment. Life puts individual and collective duty on everyone to live a life that is in tune with the earth and does not harm the earth. Those who practice such lifestyle are recognized as pro-planet people under life concept. Next slide.
The slide is not moving, sir. We are on slide mission life. That's it.
For all of the participants or for a particular individual, the slide is
For
not
everyone,
visible.
it is not
Yes,
moving,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, the slide is not visible.
Slide is not changing, sir.
Slide is not.
Sir, open slideshow. See, on the upper side of your slide, there is one option slideshow. Click on it, and slideshow will be started. What's the matter? You have to tell. Just click on the button, and it will be move on. Very simple, sir. Click on slideshow.
Share.
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Why this concept? Okay. Next slide. What is mission life? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Is it moving?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next slide. Need of mission life. Is it visible? Moving?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now the concept is to involve the individuals in climate change, Mission Life is a sustainable lifestyle initiative that places small individual actions at the center of measures to tackle the climate change challenge. Mission Life is a global initiative by the country to help the world and live a sustainable way of life to achieve the sustainable development goals set by the United Nations. Mission Life will encompass every lifestyle related to the conservation of nature so that it can be made a part of our lifestyle today. That is why I have selected the topic Mission Life for sustainability. A sustainable development can be achieved only if the individuals take suitable stand and protect the environment through their personal actions. The basic principle behind it is the mission functions on the basic principle of lifestyle of the planet, for the planet and by the planet. This is the basic principle of mission life, which is suitable and supportive to the sustainable development. Next slide. What is the need of this mission life, that is lifestyle for environment? The environmental degradation and climate change are global phenomena where the actions in one part of the world causes impact on to the ecosystems and the populations across the globe. Over the last 2 decades, several macro measures have been implemented globally for curbing the gases, for reducing the global impacts of climate change, to address the environmental degradation and climate change, including different policy reforms in different countries, economic incentives, and regulations. Despite these enormous potential, actions required at the level of individual, communities, and institutions have received limited actions, and in order to receive the actions, limited actions, that is individuals actions are also important. In order to receive the attention, mission life has been addressed. Changing individual and community behavior alone cannot make significant change in the environment and reduce the climate crisis. Therefore, as per the United Nations Environmental Program, if 1 billion people out of the global population of 8 billion adopts this environment friendly behavior or mission, which is also alternatively referred as mission life, in their daily lives, the global carbon emission is expected to drop by 20%, and definitely this is countable proportion and will reduce the problem of climate change, which is through the process of sustainable development at individual level. Now, what is this mission life? Next slide. At 2021, the United Nations Climate Change Conference, that is COP26, was held, in which the Indian Prime Minister announced Mission Life to bring individuals' behaviors, actions at the forefront to meet the problem of climate change and global warming. Of course, all these actions are the actions needed for sustainable development of individual. The life envisions replacing the prevalent use and dispose of or throw economy, which is governed by the mindless and destructive consumption patterns, with a circular economy which would be defined by the mindful and deliberate utilization patterns, which are the basic essentials for sustainable development. Next slide. Mission life approach. What is this mission life approach? The approach focuses on individual behavior make life a mass movement. That means it should become a Jana Andolan by focusing on the behaviors and the attitudes of individuals and communities who create globally. This has to be created globally. The crowdsource empirical and scalable ideas from the best minds of the world through top universities, educational institutions, think tanks, and international organizations. It should be a mass movement. What about the local cultures? The leverage climate friendly social norms, beliefs, and daily household practices of different cultures worldwide should be diverted to thrive the campaign of mission life. Next slide is on objective of mission life. The mission life aims to promote the environmental conscience or consciousness lifestyle that focuses on mindful and deliberate utilization instead of mindless and wasteful consumption. Second objective is to utilize the power of collective action and nude individuals across the world to undertake simple climate friendly actions in their daily lives. Third objective is to create and nurture a global network of individuals which is named as pro planet people who will have a shared commitment to adopt and promote environment friendly lifestyles. And fourth objective is to leverage the strength of social networks to influence social norms surrounding the climate. Of course, all these objectives directly are the objectives indirectly for the sustainable development. The next slide is on India's track record. Is it a theoretical concept or actually some efforts have been made and actual the results have been observed? The India says that the Indian opinion is that already the country has followed such some of the norms on certain tracks and it has observed benefits. It has observed that these are fruitful and workable. Therefore, it has been appealed to the entire world. India has a proven record of translating the aspirations of national mission into whole of society efforts. The success of Swachh Bharat mission in India, which mobilized individuals and communities across the socio-economic strata to become deliverers of become the drivers of collecting and good health and sanitation is a good example of this kind. The vision of life is taking flight as a global mission from the Statue of Unity, and the Prime Minister has addressed his pro planet people mission and expects calling the individuals and consumers across the world to participate and become the pro planet people by the year 2027, adopting simple lifestyle that changes the entire globe. Just it can be done by collective efforts and translate transformable change. Next slide is on five principles of this mission. The first principle is tell, second principle is to teach, third is to tend, fourth is transform, and fifth is treasure.
Again, the slide is not visible.
Is it visible now? Five principles of mission. Title is Five Principles of Mission. Is it?
Sir.
Yeah. Is it visible?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Various were the problems with that. More में एक atmospheric conditions.
It's visible now, sir.
Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes, sir.
these principles of life mission are tell, teach, tend, transform, and treasure. Tell means the methods of reducing the emissions or better things. If we know, we have to tell it to the others. We have to teach how to do a particular thing without adding any pollutants to the nature. We have to teach the manners. We have to tend ourselves in certain cases so that the message can be propagated and transform the entire society, community, and families. In this manner, we have to become a treasure for saving the planet Earth by our individual actions. Now, next slide is on three prolonged strategies of mission life. Is it visible? Is it visible? The slide is visible?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Maybe no problem. No. Now, is it visible?
No, sir.
दुसरीकडे पुन्हा उघडतं दोन ठिकाणी उघडायचे ठिकाणी स्लाइड्स
नाही मग ते तसंच होतं ना म्हणजे
Is it visible now?
Yes, sir.
Slide. Is it changing?
Yes.
Now,
Yes, sir.
next slide. Is it-
Give one back. Yes.
Now, I was discussing on three prolonged strategies of the mission life. The first strategy is nudging individuals to practice simple yet effective environment-friendly actions in their daily life. There are many examples given at the last, but one of the examples is switching off the vehicle engines at the traffic lights or turning off the taps when not in use and switching alternatives to a single-use plastic. Second type is enabling the industries and markets to respond swiftly to the changing demands. That means supply. For example, alternative to single-use plastic that can be practiced. Third is the influence the government and individual policy to ensure sustainable consumption and production. That means we have to enforce such a policy. We have to influence the government to adopt such a policy. For example, the electric mobility. Now changing the slide. Is it visible? Mission life need for individual action. Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
According to the UNEP, more than two-thirds of the greenhouse gas emissions are attributed to the household consumptions and lifestyles of the people. And therefore, the appeal has been made there is urgent need to cut the global emissions, which can only be achieved by adopting greener consumption habits of individuals at individual level. That means this is an appeal to the all sort of families. Next slide. 7 categories. Oh, is it visible? 7 categories of mission life. These are listed under 7 categories. I am showing the slide of 7 categories of mission. I hope it is visible. These actions are listed. Yes, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
The first is energy saving action area. Another is actions in the form of water saving. Third is for the actions to reduce the use of single-use plastic. Fourth is for the actions of sustainable food systems. Fifth is the actions for waste reduction. And sixth is the actions adopting healthy lifestyle. And the last category is the actions for e-waste handling. The details are at the last. We will shift to the next slide. There are 9 elements of this mission life. These 9 elements are: the first element is the customers. Second, yes. Second element is producer or the service provider, products or the services. Third is market.
The slide isn't moving.
I could not find new slide. Okay. I just can find the slide of mission life need for individual action. So green white slide. Slides are not moving. Kindly see, sir.
This may be internet issue actually. Do you observe this slide? Slide with figure. Are the slides moving? I'm changing the slides.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I can see India's track record, objective of mission life. India's track record.
5 mission.
Now this is the slide of 9 elements of mission. Do you observe? This is the cyclic process of change, how the change will take place. By changing demand, the supply has to be changed. For the supply to be enabled as per the changing demands, the policy has to change. Is it visible?
Yes, sir. Now it
Yes,
is
sir.
visible.
I hope it is visible. Now for this, the 9 elements have been discussed: customers, products, markets, technology, concern for survival. It also considers philosophy, self-concept, concern for public image, and concern for employees. All these are the 9 elements of the mission which have been centering the mission life. And this is a pictorial representation of cyclic process of change. Now I am shifting next slide. It discusses on 9 elements of mission. When we say customer, actually, who are the firm's customers? That is more important. In case of products or services, what are the firm's major products and services need to be considered? In case of markets, geographically, where does the firm compete?
You are not audible. स्क्रीनवर
नाही होत.
मला वाटलं HRDC ने चालू केलं.
नाही.
एंटायर स्क्रीन एक मिनिट. मी त्याला क्लिकच नव्हतं केलं.
ती स्क्रीन खाली
आता विचारा म्हणून.
नाही, आता ती स्क्रीन आपल्याला दिसतं ना.
मला आवाज येतोय. हेडफोन आहे.
हॅलो, स्क्रीन शेअरिंग होते का सर?
डॉक्टर चव्हाण सर बोला. स्क्रीन दिसत आहे आता. स्क्रीन दिसत आहे ना डॉक्टर चव्हाण सर? थोडासा समअप करून घ्या आता.
हॅलो,
चव्हाण सर तुमचा आवाज येतोय, स्क्रीन पण दिसत आहे. जस्ट नाव समअप करा तुमचं प्रेझेंटेशनला. समअप करा किंवा हायलाइटेड सांगून द्या.
बरं, आपण म्हटलं त्या पद्धतीनं मी पाठवून देतो तुम्हाला.
हो 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 प्लीज.
दिसत नाही ना आता? पण
आता दिसत आहे, पण वेळ भरपूर झालेला आहे आपला.
बर, शेअरिंग पण होत होती का याच्यावरून? आता दिसतंय आता, पण वेळ संपत आला ना, म्हटलं ना. ब्रीफ करू का बंदच करू?
थोडं समअप करून घ्या ना सर.
Okay. Now the question is, what actions we can prefer? Now individuals, what actions can be played that has been described by the Government of India with the list of 75 individual life actions. These have been identified and categorized into 7 categories. The first category that insists for energy saving, it calls for different energy saving actions which have been listed in this slide. I will provide the matter. You can collect it from the coordinator, sir, Praveen sir. The category 1 is on energy saving, which talks about how to act at the individual and family and community level. The second category talks about saving of water by different individuals' practices. The third category talks about the use of certain actions in order to reduce the plastic use. What can be done? The next category talks about the adopting sustainable food systems to reduce the problem. And fifth action talks about reducing the waste. Sixth is on the healthy lifestyle. And seventh category is on reducing e-wastes. All these talk about reducing the different kinds of actions to be taken for reducing the problem. And lastly, it talks about the total environment that reduces the impacts of our actions onto the environment and reduce the emissions, thereby reducing the problem. The lifestyle for environment in the form of mission life resonates with the global climate justice. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thanks to the coordinator Praveen Meshram sir, and thank you all the participants for bearing the entire lecture with me. Thanks a lot. Have a nice time.
डॉक्टर पल्लवी मॅडम त्यांना होट ऑफ थँक्स देऊन दे.
I have finished.
Okay.
I have completed the lecture.
Yeah. Just wait. One of the participant will propose the vote of thanks. I have shoulders that responded to. Dr. Pallavi Deshmukh, please continue.
Thank you, sir.
हाँ.
I am Pallavi Deshmukh standing here for vote of thanks. Today's topic was Mission Life for Sustainability. This session is very much motivational and valuable for the session. On behalf of UGC HRDC University Nagpur, I am thankful for Dr. B.L. Chavan, Associate Professor, Department of Environmental Science. Sir said the importance of sustainability in human life. Sir gave us a deep and understanding of the adverse effect of climate on our way of life and the mission working for it. It will be very important for all of us in our life. I'd like to say thank you to Dr. V.L. Chauhan on behalf of all the participants, including me. Last but not least, I am very much thankful to each and everyone who enriched this session. Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Pallavi madam. Thank you, Chavan sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
So without taking break, hello participant. Without taking break, immediately we'll join for the second session, because our guest speaker have already joined.